Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Monday, so I'm back on the mat. I'm here to do some yoga. This morning, I am going to do yoga with Cassandra. She has her own YouTube channel on YouTube. She's one of my preferred certified yoga instructors that I follow. This morning is going to be a 35-minute morning yoga to stretch and energize. Um, I don't know if we need props or not, but it's always good to have some blocks, maybe a belt, um, sometimes a bolster, pillow, something like that. Just so that you have what you need for your body and your practice. Just in case you don't know me, my name is Pamela, and I've been doing yoga for 4+ years. I started at the end of 2020 during the pandemic and have made yoga kind of just like a part of my exercise routine, either on a daily, weekly basis. These days, I try to do yoga 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, and I do go live when I do my yoga. So I go live Monday through Friday, right around 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and on Saturdays, right around 6 a.m. The reason when I say around, because it always depends on whether or not I wake up on time. Sometimes it's 6:30, sometimes it's 6:40, something like that. But I try my best to stay at a regular time each day. Anyway, what else can I tell you about myself? Like I said, I've been doing yoga for a number of years. I'm on what I would call a wellness journey, being very intentional about how I live my life, what it is that I do to nurture my spirit, my mind, and I'm very intentional about what I do with and to my body on a daily basis. I used to be morbidly obese many years ago, and it was just a struggle that I had for years. And I find that when you believe negative things about yourself, like you think you're fat, you manifest these things into your life, and that's what you become. So even when I wasn't uh, heavy or fat, I thought I was, and then I just gained and gained and had that struggle over the years. And one day I woke up and I was 280 pounds, which was not cute, not comfortable. I just did not feel good in my body, and it was just really limiting my life and my ability just to be able to enjoy life. And I just realized, I'm like, this is something I did to myself. I need to change it. And I committed myself to doing whatever I needed to do to lose the weight. Fast forward, I lost 140 pounds. So I went from 280 to 140. So I lost a whole person. Over the years after that, I started to gain weight back, and I gained about 43 pounds. And I realized, I'm going right back to what it is that I used to do and how I used to feel and think and react. And little by little, I'm just gaining the weight back, and I don't want to do that. So in 2024, I just made this plan, this wellness plan, where I'm going to live intentionally, actually writing down my intentions every day, holding myself accountable every day, journaling how it is that I'm doing, and just trying to live my best life each and every day. And so after kind of implementing that, I've lost about 25 of the 43 pounds that I had gained and struggled to lose for about 5 years. So I think I'm on the right track. And yoga is just a part of what it is that I do. If you're interested in what my daily intentions are, I do have on my TikTok profile, I do have a video pinned that shares what the daily intentions are and kind of this whole wellness challenge that I have for myself. I also have it on YouTube as well. So if you guys are interested in that, you can go and check it out. I'm a person that lives out loud. Way back when I decided to try to lose this weight, I decided that I was gonna share my journey on social media, and I did it for kind of a selfish reason. Um, my feelings get hurt very easily, and when I was very heavy, I think I went to, I don't know, a football game or something back at, the college that I went to, and I ran into some people that I recognized right away, but they didn't recognize me. And I realized they didn't recognize me because I didn't look like I did when I was in college. So when I made this decision that I was going to lose this weight, um, I didn't want to get my feelings hurt again by running into people and them not recognizing me. So I thought, let me tell people that I made this decision, I'm going to lose weight, and let me share my journey. And so that when I lose it all and they run into me, they recognize me and my feelings won't get hurt. Um, and so that was my initial reason for sharing. But what I found is because I was sharing and posting, journaling and doing all kind of things online, people were very encouraging. They were cheering me on. Then I found that I was motivating people. And because I was having good success, there were a number of people that had the same struggle that I did that were like, oh, wow, look at her and look at what she's doing. And I see her exercising and doing these different things, and I see that she's losing and making progress and accomplishing her goals. And if she can do it, I should be able to do it too. So there were people that were following me, weren't saying anything, but that were actually uh, leveraging the tools that I was using and applying it to their own life and having their own success. There were other people that were reaching out to me like, hey, can you help me? Can you give me some suggestions about what I should do? And so it really was this whole community of folks getting together, encouraging each other, motivating each other, patting each other on the back, celebrating each other's successes and things like that. And it was just truly wonderful. So while I lost 140 pounds, I found that within my community, we lost over 1,000 pounds together. And that had not been my intention, but it was a wonderful, wonderful result. And so because of that, I continue to share what it is that I do on a daily basis in hope that, there's some other people that might, benefit from my story as well. So that's me. But one of my intentions daily is to do yoga, to do two 30-minute workouts. And so yoga is usually one of those if it's at least 30 minutes. So today's will satisfy that because it's a 35-minute morning yoga routine. So with that, why don't we go ahead and I'll get started in just a minute. I should say I do appreciate you guys being here. I am live on YouTube and TikTok as well. I appreciate if you guys could follow me or subscribe on YouTube. If you can share these videos with folks that you think might benefit from my content, I'd appreciate that. If you could like the videos, and if on TikTok you're so inclined to help me meet my daily goals, I appreciate that as well. Obviously I won't be able to engage in the chat while we're live doing yoga, but if you guys have comments or questions for me, please do leave them for me, and I will do my best to respond to you after this practice is over. The only caveat is, I guess two caveats. One, and I haven't had to deal with it lately, but be nice and respectful. And then if you happen to have a private account, I won't be able to respond back to you just because the platform doesn't allow that. Otherwise, I will. Okay, so I'm going to start with my normal warm-up, which is a handstand, a back bend, and a headstand. And I do these things just to get my body warmed up and the blood flowing, and to be intentional about doing something to strengthen my shoulders, to work on my core strength and balance, to work on my back flexibility, flexibility in my back mobility, and the flexibility in my spine. as well. I never know exactly what's going to be a part of the practice because I just pick the yoga practice without watching the video first. So I want to make sure that I can incorporate these things in my practice every day intentionally, and then go into the yoga practice that's led by whichever yogi that we're going to follow. And so today's yogi will be Cassandra. She's got a channel YouTube with Cassandra, and again, it's going to be a 35-minute morning yoga to stretch and energize. So let me go do my warm up. It should take me no more than 3.5 minutes. And then when I come back, we can come together on the mat and have a wonderful yoga practice together. Okay? All right, you guys ready for some yoga? Once again, we're following yoga with Cassandra. It'll be a 35-minute morning yoga flow to stretch and energize. It should be good. Again, I'm not exactly sure whether or not we're going to need props or not, but it's good to have blocks handy, potentially a strap when you're doing stretches, maybe a bolster, maybe a pillow, maybe a blanket, to pad your knees. But yeah. I'm ready. Hope you guys are as well. I hope you do this with me. It should be wonderful. I always feel a sense of accomplishment after a nice morning yoga flow. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Cassandra, and I'm going to take you through this 30-ish minutes or so morning yoga practice. And this is an intermediate, well-rounded flow. We're going to place special emphasis on hip openers, balancing poses, and some heart openers and back bends. A little bit of strength, but really a good, stretchy, intermediate, full body practice. No props are required. So let's begin in a butterfly forward fold, Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees falling apart. And I have a bit of soreness in my left hip today, so you might see me moving around or adjusting or just modifying pose. That's the only reason why. So you can just fold on down. I'm going to reach and crawl the hands forward, coming up onto the fingertips, and really using this as a way for me to lift out of my lower back as much as possible. So I'm not folding all the way down like I normally would here. I'm really trying to focus on stretching through the sides of my waist, and almost like I'm pushing my knees down towards the mat by slightly engaging my glutes. And you can just crawl your hands over to the right. You'll feel this a little bit more through the left side of your low back. See if you can really intend that left thigh and left knee to press down. And then over to the other side. See if you can find a little more length, more space. Push that right knee down. And come back through to center, and now let yourself fold forward passively here. Take 3 deep breaths. And I want you to use primarily arm strength to get yourself out of this pose. So walking your hands inch by inch, and roll up nice and slow all the way. And we'll open our legs into a straddle. I've been doing this a lot in the morning. So as you open your legs, all I'm going to do is bend my knees a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of rock from side to side. And again, I'm mainly doing this because I do feel some kind of stiffness and soreness in my left hip, and I am trying to work it out, but this is also a great way to work on external rotation of the hip as well as internal rotation. So really feel what it's like when you push that knee down. Just a few more here, side to side. And you really don't need to be opening the legs up too wide, and you can absolutely have more of a bend in your knees. And hopefully that should feel a little better. And then when you're ready, you can just come to stillness. Make sure you have your knees and your toes pointing up. Let's find a side body stretch first. Left arm reaches up and over. Try to anchor that left sit bone into the mat. Roll your left shoulder back, let your head dangle, so your neck is relaxed here. Coming up, we'll go to the other side. Right arm reaches up and over. Push your right sit bone down. Come all the way back up, and this time let's fold over towards our right leg and right knee. You can lift on up. Same thing to the other side, folding towards the left. Come back up through to center, and now one last little forward fold here. Go right down the middle. Stretching out of the lower back, even here. And draw the lower belly in for extra support. And let's bring our hands in, lift on up. Let's find our tabletop pose. We're just going to take a few hip circles from here. So hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And you can just trace some circles, as small or as big as is comfortable. Keep your breath smooth and steady as you do this. One more. And coming back to neutral, this time go ahead and kick your right heel up towards the sky. You're going to take big hip circles with your right leg. Try to engage your lower belly and abdominals a little bit here so you're not collapsing. And the next time you do your circle, you're going to step that foot forward to the top of the mat on the outer edge of your right hand. So coming into your lizard pose as you melt your hips forward and down. Think of rolling your shoulders down and away from your ears. You might choose to stay as you are. You can add a little twist, right hand to your right thigh, push away from it, maybe looking over that right shoulder. Coming back through to center, you're going to straighten your right leg, flex your right foot, and walk your hands a little bit more towards the left side of your mat. And I'm going to bend my knee a little bit here. I'm going to start to press my hips back behind me and then counter stretch and reach with your arms. So just a really different way of working into our hamstrings, a variation of Ardha Hanumanasana, our half splits pose. So traction out of your lower back, press those hips back, and then come all the way back through to center. You're going to bend into that right knee and step it back into your tabletop pose. And let's do some circles to the other direction this time. So through your hips first, just getting that motion through your low back. Coming back through to center, kick that left heel up and trace some circles here with your knee and with your foot. Keep both elbows straight. Pull your lower belly in, and we'll step it forward into your lizard pose at the top of the mat. So I'm making sure to keep my left knee directly over the top of my ankle, both palms to the inside of that leg. So opening through those right hip flexors. Try to relax your shoulders. And maybe add your twist, bringing your left hand to your left thigh, pushing away from it as you open through your chest. In the variation of our half splits, bring your hand back down, start to straighten that left leg and flex your foot. Walk your hands over to the right this time, and you can bend a little bit into your left knee. You're going to start pressing your hips back behind you, and at the same time, providing a counter reach and counter stretch by walking your hands further out in front of you, as if someone was pulling back on your hips and pulling forward on your wrists. Keep digging and pressing your left heel into the mat. Use that as your anchoring point. And coming all the way back up through to center into your tabletop pose, we'll lower all the way down to our bellies. And go ahead and slide your forearms out in front of you. Find your Sphinx pose. Push down into the tops of the feet, roll your shoulders back, and just pull your heart forward. Keeping your chin parallel to the ground. See if you can push down into your hip bones, so you're not just compressing through your low back, but really getting a nice expansion through your chest. And let's let's go ahead and release all the way down. You can slide your palms back behind you. We'll take 5 little baby cobras. So I want the tops of your feet to stay pushing into the floor. Try not to lift them off the ground. This is upper body only. As you inhale, lift your upper body, lift your palms off the mat. Exhale, lower back down. 4 more like this. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, up and down. 2 more. Breathe in, push into the tops of the feet, push into your hips and lower. Last one, inhale. You're gonna hold here. Go ahead and reach your arms back behind you. And now if you'd like, transition Shavasana, your locust pose. Legs lift off the floor, back of the neck is long. So you should be able to breathe deeply here. Otherwise you've gone too far into this pose. And let's release. Bring your hands out in front of you and your forearms just for support. We're gonna bend into our right knee, taking a little quad stretch. So I like to just provide a little padding for my forehead. And you're pulling your right heel towards the glute. And the key thing here is to push your pubic bone into the floor while also pushing your right knee into the mat. Trying to isolate your quads and your hip flexors. Slow, deep breaths. Carefully release that right leg. We'll go and switch sides. Bend your left knee and pull your left heel in towards you. Big breath in here. And go ahead and release that left foot down. Let's press back, wide-legged child's pose. Big toes together, knees as wide as you would like them to be. As you press your hips back and slide your arms out in front of you, forehead lowers down to the ground. More breaths. And let's start to lift on up. We'll make our way to our first downward facing dog. So establish your foundation here. Hands shoulder width distance apart, feet are hip width distance apart. And then you can go ahead and lift your way up and back. Pushing your chest towards your thighs as you lift your tailbone up towards the sky. And we'll join at the center of our mat so you can walk your feet a couple inches and walk your hands back at the same time. Finding your ragdoll hold, you might want to widen your feet if this feels a little too narrow. Maybe holding on to your elbows and adding a gentle sway side to side. Release your hands down, bend your knees even more, push into your heels in order to roll all the way up, inch by inch. Standing at the top of the mat, and I'm just going to turn to face towards you, but you can stay as you are at home. We'll find our Vrikshasana tree pose. Let's begin on the right side. So you're going to stand on your right leg, and you're going to bring your left foot somewhere to the inside of that leg, maybe at the shin level, or maybe up towards your inner thigh. And you can choose to have your hands at your heart. Maybe you'll want to open up your arms. If you have your leg up high, like what I'm doing here, tough to look at the camera and also keep your balance. You can grab a hold of your left ankle with your left hand and we'll add a side bend. So right arm can reach up and over. And you can just add a little bit of a lean. Not taking the pose or taking yourself too seriously. Falling out and wobbling is normal. It's no big deal. And let's come back up and through to center. hands at your heart, Utkatasana, chair pose. Big toes together, heels apart, sink down low. And let's add a twist from here. Left elbow over the top of your right knee. Before you twist any further, I want you to look down at your knees. If your left one is further than the right, shift it back. You want to keep your hips leveled. This is a twist for your upper body, your mid to upper back. Try to lift your chest off of your thighs while keeping your hips low, rolling that right shoulder back. Come back through to center into your chair pose. Push to lift on up. One last little pose from here, so leaning on your right leg again, and you're just going to draw that left thigh and left knee in towards you. And take a few ankle rolls, flexing and pointing through your left foot. Think of really pulling up through that right quad, so you're lifting that kneecap up. And see if you can add a quad stretch, balancing here. So you're going to lift that leg back behind you and maybe reach back with one or with both hands. Same thing as when we were doing this lying down on our bellies. I want you to think of reaching and lengthening your tailbone down. Roll your shoulders back. So when we were laying down, we were trying to push our hip bones into the floor. Imagine you're doing this even here. Really targeting left quads, left thigh. And let's release, shake it out. Let's do that same thing to the other side, beginning with our Vrikshasana tree pose. You're going to establish your foundation on that left leg and bring your right foot wherever is appropriate to you. And again, maybe your hands stay at your heart. Maybe you choose to reach your arms up, or you can add a side bend, grabbing a hold of your right ankle, and your left arm will reach up and over. Totally normal for one side to feel easier than the other. And balance does tend to change day to day. Notice if you're holding your breath. Come all the way back up through to center, hands at your heart, chair pose, Utkatasana with a twist. So sink down first. Notice how right now your knees are in line, your hips are in line. Keep them that way, even as you bring your right elbow to your left knee. So shift that right knee back. And then see if you can twist a little deeper by pushing your elbow into your knee and also pushing your palms in towards each other and rolling that left shoulder further back. So a little bit of strength here. You might need to readjust your pelvis. The longer we're here, the more the knees and the hips tend to shift. And coming back through to center, press the lift on up. Leaning onto your left leg again, let's pull our right knee in towards the belly. Lengthening out. Draw your shoulders down and away from your ears. And you can roll a little bit through your right foot and right ankle. Try not to dig your toes into the mat. Adding your standing quad stretch. So you're going to try to touch your right heel to your glute. Hold onto that foot with one or both hands. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Lengthen your tailbone down. Trying to keep your knees in line with each other. And let's release, shake it out. Go ahead and widen your feet. So if you were facing the top of the mat, go and face towards the long edge of your mat this time. Feet parallel to the top of the mat, hands on your hips. As you inhale, lift and lengthen, and on the exhale, fold all the way down. You can walk your hands back as you relax your upper back, your shoulders, your neck, your head. Just let yourself get heavy as you dangle here. deep belly breaths. And you can hold here for about another 5 breaths or so, or if you'd like to add a twist, you're gonna walk your hands out in front of you until your chest is about parallel to the mat. Bring your left hand underneath your head and reach your right arm up. Big open twist here. Breathe in, and let's release. We'll do same thing on the other side. Left arm rises. Only looking up if this is okay for your neck, otherwise please leave that out. And coming back down. So if you were hanging out in your forward fold, walk your hands out so we're all here. You're gonna turn your right toes to point forward towards the mat, and I want you to bend deeply into that right knee. So this is a really deep lunge. You can also bring your right hand to the inside of your right thigh to help push it open even more. So you have a warrior 2 stance with your legs, but we're staying nice and low. Really engage the muscles through your legs. We're gonna lift up into Virabhadrasana 2, so coming up to your warrior 2. Arms reach out, palms facing down to the floor. Keep your shoulders over your hips. And let's reverse. Left hand down, right arm up. Keep your upper body as is and just straighten your right leg. Into your triangle pose, Trikonasana. You might need to narrow your stance a little bit. I know for me this is too wide. Left arm up, right hand down. Maybe holding onto your shin or pushing the back of your hand, the inside of your calf. And push down into your feet. Let's lift all the way back up. And we'll come back into that wide-legged fold. So readjust your stance. Feet are parallel to the shorter edges. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hold all the way back down. Instead of doing that twist the second time around, this time we're gonna walk our hands over towards the right leg. Hold on to whatever you can and fold on in, trying to bring your forehead or your knee, your nose to your knee. And switching sides, walk your hands over towards your left leg and left foot. Pull yourself in. Coming back through to center, walk your hands out in front of you so you're parallel to the mat. You're going to turn the left toes to point towards the back of your mat, bend into your left knee so you have those warrior 2 legs. And you can use your left hand to push that thigh open a little bit more, sinking your hips nice and low. Deep breaths. You can engage the muscles in your legs to help push your feet into the floor, lifting up warrior 2 towards the back of your mat. Let's reverse, right hand down, left arm up. Straighten your left leg. Into your triangle pose, you might need to walk that right foot in slightly. If you feel like you're opened up a little too wide to the legs, that can be a little hard to balance in triangle pose if your stance is too wide. One more big deep breath here. Use your abdominals to lift yourself back up. And now let's all turn to face towards the top of the mat. Stepping up. Hands at your heart. Let's take a little flow. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant your palms. You're just going to step back into your plank pose and go ahead and lower down to your forearms. So a forearm plank. Keep your hips nice and low. And now let's go ahead and roll onto our right heel and right forearm. So your forearm side plank, maybe you'd like to stay here, or you can do like a forearm wild thing, bringing your left foot back behind you and trying to reach that left arm up and over. You're not going to go very far here. Same thing to the other side. Drop that left forearm down, roll over onto your left foot, and get stable in this side plank first, and then maybe step the right foot back behind you. See if you can lift the pelvis up a little bit more. Back through to center. Let's find our dolphin pose. Walk your feet in, lift your hips up, push your chest towards your thighs. And knees come down to the mat. Go ahead and lift up right away. We'll make our way into our camel pose. So you want your knees and your legs to be hip width distance apart. I really want you to lengthen your tailbone down to firm up through your core. Bring your palms towards your lower back for support. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you and think of lifting up and then back. Any variation of this pose, maybe you bring your hands resting on your heels. Think of pushing your hips forward. And we'll lift on up and just let yourself sit back on your heels. Take a little twist, left hand to your right knee. Open through your chest. Second side, right hand to your left knee. Coming into rabbit pose, a really great counter stretch for camel. So you can just bring the crown of your head to the mat, hold onto your heels, and lift your seat. Feel that nice stretch along your spine. And release back, Balasana. You can keep this an easy child's pose with your arms alongside your legs. Take 5 breaths here. And really breathe into your lower back. And we'll take one last heart opening pose here, coming into our puppy stretch. So from hands and knees, keep your hips stacked, or your hips stacked over your knees, and walk your hands out in front of you before melting down. And you can either do this with your forehead on the mat, or some people do like to bring their chins instead. It's just a little too much for me. So I like to keep a slight tuck of the chin to keep the back of the neck long. You're still trying to melt your heart down towards the floor. One more big deep breath. And go ahead and walk it back. Let's find our pigeon pose from here. Right knee slides behind that right wrist. You might need to stretch a little bit further back. Big breath in here as you open up through your chest. And now you're either going to just fold straight down, traditional pigeon pose, or if you'd like, you can add a twist. So like a thread the needle variation of pigeon, your left arm is going to go underneath you, left shoulder and left ear drop down to the floor. And you can bring your right hand rest towards your lower back, or you might be able to even hold on somewhere towards your right foot. Try not to push yourself too far into this one. It's definitely an intense stretch, but it shouldn't be going past your edge. You have nothing to prove here in any of these practices. This is an opportunity for you to be in tune with your body and to check in with yourself, doing whatever feels best to you. Take one more full breath like this, and we'll slowly come back up. So release the twist first, push into the floor, and we'll come back tabletop pose. It might feel good just to extend your right leg back behind you. You can do some hip circles, just whatever is intuitive. Not overthinking this. And let's find pigeon on the other side. Left knee slides behind your left wrist. Square off the pelvis here. And take a breath just to find some length as you open through your heart and either dive straight forward or add, thread the needle, right arm underneath you, right shoulder and right ear lowered down, maybe adding your bind. Release your twist. Let's lift on up and we'll find downward dog one last time. Stepping it back. Might feel good. Just stretch that leg first. And then whenever you're ready, lifting your hips. And I'm not doing any vinyasas in this morning practice, but of course you are welcome to take one now if you'd like. Otherwise, just stretch everything out. Find lots of length. And we can bring our knees down to the mat. When you're ready, swing your legs out in front of you. And we'll lower down all the way. Happy baby pose and on Balasana. Draw your knees wide. Hold on to your big toes or to your feet as you stack your ankles over your knees. Using your arms to press those knees open a little wider. You might rock a little side to side. Release your feet flat to the floor and let's end with a banana pose before coming into Shavasana. So you can move your hips over to the right, bring your head and shoulders over to the left. And as you straighten your legs, walk your ankles also to the left. You can grab a hold of your upper arms or your wrists and maybe cross your right ankle over the left one. So I want you to imagine that someone is pushing down on your right hip. Don't let yourself roll over to the left. This is a side body stretch. Side bends are an excellent way to alleviate lower back discomfort, especially when we've done a lot of a lot of back bends. And just let yourself relax and soften here. 5 breaths. To uncross your ankles, bend your knees, just so you can more easily lift your hips, bring them to the left, and lift your head and shoulders, bring them to the right. Straighten your legs, walk your feet to the right bottom corner of your mat, and maybe cross your left ankle over top. Try to push your left hip down. How do you want to carry yourself throughout your day? Now that we've moved some of our energy around, you've alleviated some tension throughout your body. Notice what is true for you, what is coming through, and what your intention for the day is. Let's uncross and make our way to Shavasana, our final resting pose. So I'm going to do this one recline. If you're worried that you're going to fall asleep this morning, you're welcome to close with a seated meditation instead. We're not going to be here very long, just about 2 minutes. using this time to process your practice, to show yourself some gratitude, and to set your intention for the day. Let's wake ourselves up, a bit of movement and some deeper breathing. Stretch your arms up overhead, really stretch everything out here. Let's roll to one side, come up to take a seat. Bring your hands together at your heart. Let's chant Om together one time. Inhale to chant, big breath in. Thank you so very much for doing this morning yoga practice with me. I hope you feel energized and all stretched out. We did quite a few hip openers and back bends and balancing poses. So well-rounded flow. Before you go, please let me know how this one went for you. Do subscribe and hopefully I'll practice again.
All right. I hope you guys did it with me. I enjoyed it. It was nice. I feel stretched. I feel energized. You know, before I got on the mat to do yoga this morning, I did an hour of strength training with dumbbells, and my heart was racing, I was sweating, and so I wanted to do something that was really good but felt nice and easy, and this one definitely did. I feel like I was better on my balancing poses today. That's obviously something that it is something that I need to work on. You know, with yoga, you are improving your strength, you're getting stronger, you are working on your balance, your mobility, your flexibility, and so I tend to be very flexible. I've got pretty good mobility. I'm getting stronger, but balance is the something, especially when it's on one leg, that gets a little bit tricky for me, so I often fall out. But I was pretty steady today. So anyway, but that's what practice is for. You know, the more and more you do something, the better you get at it. And so my yoga has come a long way in these 4 years that I've been doing yoga, and I really enjoy it. And I feel satisfied each and every time I get on and off the mat. I appreciate the yogi. I appreciate you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll be back tomorrow. I will. 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Tomorrow I will be back on the mat for some yoga. Please join me. You guys have a blessed day. Take care.